All right, good morning. It's 8 o'clock on July 7th, 2025, and I'm going to call this meeting to order. This meeting is to review and evaluate the proposals for the RFP 2502. This is for the real estate broker and sales services of any land that the Okaloosa County School District owns. That we want to put up for sale.
Yep.
So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. McGinnis, our school board attorney.
Good morning, committee members, and as Mr. Meyer said, the purpose of the meeting is to review and evaluate proposals that were received for RFP 2502, Real Estate Broker Sales Services. The evaluation committee has been appointed by the school board and tasked to evaluate each respondent based on the criteria that were specified in the RFP, and then to develop a recommended ranking of firms for contract negotiations to be presented to the board. The committee rankings will be based upon points received during the evaluation process. The firm with the highest final score will be ranked number one. The committee will recommend its selections for contract negotiation purposes to the school board, who will act upon the recommendation. Upon board approval of the rankings, the district will begin negotiations with the highest ranked respondent. I want to remind the committee members this morning that this meeting has been publicly advertised and is open to the public. The committee is bound by the provisions of Florida Sunshine Law and Florida's Public Records Law. In accordance with the Public Records Law, the evaluation forms and any notes that you take will be part of the public record and will be maintained in the purchasing department. No committee member should have any communication with any of you responding firms outside of these publicly advertised meetings, and no committee member should have any communication with each other about this RFP outside of these advertised meetings. I'd like to confirm that each one of you have seen the two responding proposals and have filled out your conflict of interest and confidentiality statements that was provided. Mr. Meyer, have you signed yours?
Yes, sir.
Any conflicts?
No.
Dr. Smith, any conflicts?
I haven't signed it, but I have no
You
conflict.
have,
Have I?
yes.
No.
When did I do
got it
that?
from you when you picked up your packet.
Okay, yeah, I've signed it then.
Okay, and Mr. McElroy?
Yes.
Do you have any conflicts with your proposal?
No.
Okay, all right. So based upon that, then, I will turn it over to Ms. Duncan.
Good morning. Purchasing will provide information on the responsiveness of the proposals received related to the proposals meeting the RFP procedural requirements. For us, yes, they have met everything that they needed. The committee determines if all proposals received conform in all material respects to the RFP and all mandatory requirements have been met. If all proposals are considered responsive, the committee will make a motion and vote to accept all proposals as responsive. If the committee declares a proposal non-responsive, the committee must provide written justification for this conclusion and must make a motion and vote to declare a proposal non-responsive. Have you all reviewed?
Yes.
Yes, and both packets are responsive
Mhm.
and have met the requirements of the bid.
Okay.
I make that a
So-
motion.
All right, so motion on the table. Do we need a second?
Yes.
I second that.
Mr. McElroy seconds.
And the motion is to find both proposals responsive to the
Yes,
RFP?
that's
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Now it's up for discussion. You guys can discuss and talk about each proposal and go from there.
All right, committee
And
members.
Mr. Chairman, the thing that the committee needs to decide this morning is first you need to discuss the proposals, and then you need to determine today if you believe it's helpful or necessary for the committee to invite the respondents to come in for interviews with the committee, or if you can determine from the proposals based upon the RFP terms that you would like to move forward evaluating today. At some point, though, the committee members individually each will need to score each proposal so that we can get to the ranked recommendations to the school board. But it's your option today which way you go.
I feel very comfortable that I can make a decision from the information that were put in the packets, and I don't see any reason to have presentations or proposals. I'm good with ranking them and scoring them as they are in the packets, and I make that in the form of a motion.
So further discussion, there's two proposals, which I think given the amount of proposals, it would be easier to go through. And the information that I received as well and saw through, I feel the same, that we would not need to interview each group. I mean,
I feel the same way, yeah.
yeah. Okay?
So you've got a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Well,
Can I
you're
say-
chair, you can.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion before we vote on that?
So the motion is to evaluate the proposals as received
Correct.
today and do your scoring and not to bring them in for interviews.
That's correct.
That's correct, yeah.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So it'd be appropriate at this point, if you have any discussion about the proposals, about the RFP conditions, you can do that now in this meeting. If you're prepared to just begin your own evaluations, then the purchasing staff have provided you the required scoring sheets, and we would just need each of you to individually fill out your scoring sheets on each of the proposals. And then we would come back and once you've completed that, I'll ask each of you to publicly announce your results, and we will tabulate those and assign the ranking points, and then let the committee decide on your final recommendation to the school board.
Okay. I'd like to go through the scoring before we went to that. So if we could go to each section, just make sure we're clear on the scoring. Is that all right with you guys?
Yeah,
Is that in here,
yeah,
Dennis? or-
there, the second page. I don't mind making a comment on the two packets. They're both very highly qualified
Yep,
companies.
I felt the same way.
Grant is within the package.
So this is in the back.
You should have,
I only had
you
one.
should have two of them,
Yeah.
one for
One
each
for each
company.
company.
Okay, here we go. All right, so if I can, let's go through each one of these. One is their experience and qualifications. And I see there's a 25-point max with that section.
Yes.
Okay, any questions there?
And there's a helpful guide for committee members on each category that shows you kind of a suggested scale of those points based upon your determination of how responsive that is to that item.
I got you. From 0 to 25.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 2 is the rate proposal of the fee and expenses, and that's from 0 to 30 points. Again, there's scoring guidelines. And I saw both packets had that information in there. 3 is the knowledge of local real estate market. That's up to 20 points. Their marketing plan is number 4. That's up to 25 points. And then that is the 4 categories that we would score
Yes.
with any additional notes. So if my math is right, that's a maximum of 100 points. Okay. Any questions on the scoring? Okay.
So
So-
if you want to recess the meeting for just a few minutes to let each individual member do their scoring, obviously there can be no conversations, nothing can
Correct.
be done except each of you working your score sheets. And then as soon as you're ready, we can reconvene the meeting and then we'll go forward with announcing those scores.
You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
So at this time, we'll
Recess.
recess the meeting. We will reconvene our meeting for the RFP proposals for a real estate broker.
Have all committee members completed your individual evaluations and
Yes.
scoring?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Chairman, if you're ready, then we'll go ahead and announce those and tabulate those.
I think we're ready.
Okay. We'll start with Mr. Meyer. I'll call out the proposer's name and then go by each category and ask you to give me your points for each category and then a total. So Mr. Meyer for Remax Agency 1, proposer's recent experience, qualifications, similar transactions, and references.
24.
Proposer's rate proposal, including fees and expenses.
26.
Proposer's knowledge of local real estate market.
20.
Proposer's marketing plan.
24,
And your total?
94.
Ms. Duncan's gonna double check that.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay?
It's a good
Then
thing.
we go to the Urban Group, Inc., proposal's recent experience, qualifications with similar transactions and references.
25,
Proposer's rate proposal, including fees and expenses.
26,
Proposer's knowledge of the local real estate market.
16,
Proposer's marketing plan.
24,
Your total?
91.
That's correct.
Okay, so based upon your points awarded, the RE/MAX Agency 1 would get 3 ranking points, and the Urban Group, Inc. would get 2 ranking points, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Dr. Smith, you're next
Okay.
for RE/MAX Agency 1, proposer's recent experience, qualifications with similar transactions and references.
22.
Proposer's rate proposal, including fees and expenses.
28.
Proposer's knowledge of local real estate market.
20.
Proposer's marketing plan.
22.
22,
22.
and your total,
92.
That's correct.
okay? The Urban Group, Inc., proposer's recent experience, qualifications with similar transactions and references.
22.
Proposal's rate proposal, including fees and expenses.
28.
Proposer's knowledge of local real estate market.
10.
Proposer's marketing plan.
20.
And your total,
80.
That's correct.
based upon your points awarded then, RE/MAX Agency 1 would get 3 ranking points, and the Urban Group, Inc. would get 2 ranking points. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mr. McElroy for RE/MAX Agency 1, proposer's recent experience, qualifications with similar transactions and references.
25,
Proposer's rate proposal, including fees and expenses.
30,
Proposer's knowledge of local real estate market.
20,
Proposer's marketing plan.
25,
And your total,
100,
That's correct.
okay? The Urban Group, Inc., proposer's recent experience, qualifications with similar transactions and references.
25,
Proposer's rate proposal, including fees and expenses.
30,
Proposer's knowledge of the local real estate market.
9,
I'm sorry,
9,
9. Proposer's marketing plan.
25,
Your total,
89,
Correct.
so based upon your points awarded, RE/MAX will get 3 ranking points, and the Urban Group would get 2 ranking points. So then we transfer those over. And for RE/MAX, the ranking points for Mr. Meyer are 3, for Dr. Smith, 3, and for Mr. McElroy are 3. The total ranking points for RE/MAX are 9. For the Urban Group, Inc., ranking points for Mr. Meyer are 2. For Dr. Smith are 2. And for Mr. McElroy are 2. They get a total then of 6 ranking points. Based upon the points, the overall ranking would be RE/MAX Agency 1 as first and the Urban Group, Inc. as second. That is a decision, though, to be made by the committee, so based upon the scoring, it would be appropriate for you to have a motion to determine the ranked order of these firms for contract negotiation purposes, as to be recommended to the school board.
To the board.
And I so make that motion.
I'll second
And
that.
then your motion is which firm will be first?
RE/MAX 1, the one with the most points.
Okay, and Urban Group second?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and I will circulate then this sheet and ask each of you if you will sign the date the back page.
We're looking at this last board meeting in July to bring this to the board for approval for negotiations.
That's correct.
Between those.
No,
Yes.
yeah, two board meetings, that one
Two.
first.
Okay, got it.
Everything in order?
Yes, everything looks good. I can have everything in order.
Okay. So then you've made your motion and you've signed off on the scoring, so your recommendation would be to the school board to recommend the firms of that rank order for contract negotiations. And having done that, that would conclude the work of this committee.
All right, so motion to adjourn? Or, yeah, adjourn the meeting?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Well done.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Appreciate it, thank you.